Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name's Alicia. In today's video, I'm going to be testing out a palette that I've held on to for a little while. I picked this Ofra. It's called On the Glow. It's a highlighting and bronzing palette. I picked this up actually from an Ipsy add-on, but you can get this directly from Ofra's website. I will have it linked down below, but it is exactly what it says it is. It is a full palette of just highlighters and bronzers. I will say the packaging, I'm just not a fan of Ofra's packaging overall. And also because it's white, I've used this one time, and I'm very clean with my makeup, and it's already got spots on it, so that would kind of drive me crazy. But this is what the palette itself looks like. If you are interested in pricing, swatches, how it performs, then let's go ahead and get into it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get right in with this palette. Now, the packaging for $149, I think they could have done better with the packaging. You know, this is so plain, but we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I do have a few palettes like this from Ofra though, and I will say they're all kind of just very plain. I think this is more like a professional, like makeup artist type of a brand. So here is what the inside of the palette looks like. Obviously you are getting 6 full-size products. These are all complexion like base type products. So you've got some highlighters, you've got some bronzers. This one has a blush in there as well. These are all, I think all of these are permanent to the line. I have several of these that are actually in full size. So we have got the Blissful Highlighter, Egyptian Clay Bronzer, Americano Bronzer, California Dream Triangle, Beverly Hills Highlighter, and Rodeo Drive Highlighter. Now, if you saw my collection video, you know that I have several of these items. I have this, and this already in a full size, so obviously I love those. I have not ever tried this or this one. So that's really why I picked up this palette. And then Americana Bronzer, I do have that in another big palette from Ofra, and it is a really, really good bronzer. So, okay, so as you can tell, these come with a little cover. You can keep that, or you can go ahead and discard it because your shades are on the back of this palette as well. So I will be getting rid of that. And you do have a little mirror in here in case, you know, you wanted to travel with this. It does come with a mirror. I'm going to go ahead and swatch this. I will say it reminds me of like Natasha Denona palettes because it's got that like foam insert, and these can easily be popped out. You can make your own palette. You can put different pans in here from Ofra. You can mix and match these around. So you can replace these if you run out of one. So I do like that aspect of this. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys some swatches. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get the 2 like just plain highlighters out of the way first. So first up, this is the Blissful Highlighter, and it is described as a golden bronze with rose undertones. And then you have got Rodeo Drive, and this is like a universally flattering, it is like a soft gold. I love that highlighter. I mean, look how pigmented these are. So that's obviously, that's Blissful, the one that had the rosy undertones, and then this is Rodeo Drive. Now I'm gonna go ahead and swatch Americano, which is that it's just described as a warm bronzer with some shimmer in it. And again, so freaking pigmented. These are so creamy as well. All right, then you have got Beverly Hills, which obviously is multiple highlighter shades in here. You could wear these separately, you could wear these together. You could kind of pinpoint, like if you just wanted to use this region or if you just wanted to use that region, you could do it that way. For the sake of the swatch, I'm just going to mix it all together. And that is what that looks like. It's kind of just a lighter type of a version than Blissful. It does still have some kind of like pinky rosy undertones though, as you can tell. The one that I was most excited about is this one right here, which is the Egyptian Clay Bronzer. It reminded me so much of the old Becca ones that had a little bit of shimmer in there and you can mix them together. So good. So this one is described as a multi-toned, warm, matte and shimmer bronzer and a cool toned bronzed highlight. So again, I'm going to swatch it all together. And there is that shade. As you can tell, it's kind of like the same type of like warm tone as the Americano bronzer. This one's just a little bit lighter, so I think this one would probably be better for like fairer skins. And then last up is this California Dream Triangle. So there's a matte blush, a matte bronzer, and then you do have like a bronze shimmer or highlight depending on your skin tone. So I am going to just kind of mix these two together, and then I am going to do the blush separately. All right, running out of real estate here. Okay, that is a pretty color. And then yeah, I would just say this is more of like a yellowish type of undertone than these two. So this one is even lighter when you mix those two. That is this palette. These highlighters are freaking insane, as you can tell. So, and this palette sells for $149, but I purchased mine off of, I think it was Ipsy, like Ipsy add-ons, and I got mine for, it was either $18 or $24, I can't remember, but I knew that I really wanted those two products in here, which were the Egyptian Clay and then the California Triangle, just because I didn't have those in my collection, and those normally retail for $35 each. So I mean, to get this whole palette for less than one of those, I figured it was worth it for me. Now, $149, that is a steep price. This normally, if you bought all of these separate, would retail for $210, so you are saving 60 bucks, but I don't know. We are gonna go ahead and go in with this palette, use it, and see what we think at the end. All right, so I plan to use this on my whole entire face. I'm gonna use this on my eyes as well because $149, you better be getting your use out of it, you know? And you can always do this with any products that you're using anyway. Like when I do my 10-minute face, which I have on that base again, I will link it down below. But whenever I'm doing that, I'll just throw whatever highlighter I'm wearing on my lids, bronzer in the crease, ready to go. And it actually doesn't look bad, so. All right, I think the first thing that I'm going to do is go in with Blissful, which was that like rosy bronze color. These highlighters are just next level. They are so good. If you have not ever tried a Ofra highlighter, you're missing out. If you like highlighters, you need to try one. And honestly, the one that I would probably recommend is Rodeo Drive. I love that one so much. I've got such a dip in the one that I have in full size. So now that we have that on, I mean, I'm not going to do anything crazy. I am just going to go in with a little blending brush, and I'm going to go into this Americano shade just because that, ooh, look at all that kick up. Tap that off. Okay. I'm just going to go in with that shade just because it was a little bit deeper of a bronzer. And I'm going to put this all throughout the crease. And I am going to apply a little bit of it in the outer third over there. So obviously these are very soft powders. You could tell by how much product kicked up. It's just not, it's not very tightly pressed in here. So you're gonna pick up a lot of product. So Now I'm pressing in there even lighter and I'm not having that issue. Next up, one of my favorite steps is bronzer. I think it just brings you back to life. So I'm gonna go in with this one, which do y'all see all of that? All right. All right, let's see how this blends out. I tapped my brush off, but it was still pretty pigmented over here. So with this, I wish you could just kind of swirl it and it not go everywhere, but so now I'm just kind of like tapping all over in there, and that is working better. I'm gonna build it up just a little bit more on my forehead. All right, I told you guys anytime I have like my chest out, I'll always throw just a little bit of whatever bronzer I am using. I'll put that on my chest as well, just to make everything, you know, match and flow together. All right, I think that looks pretty good. I have nothing additional on this brush. I'm just going back over all of those areas that we bronzed, just because I like everything to be very soft and blended. Okay, so I think that looks nice. Now for the highlighter over here, which is called Rodeo Drive. Now, the only thing I'll say about these highlighters is that they are freaking intense. So I'm applying very light pressure, and I just tapped into that highlighter just a few times, as you could tell. And I'm tapping into this very lightly. These definitely are highlighters that if you like that glow from space type of a look, you can get that with an Ofra highlighter very easily. All right, now you see how my chest is out right here and you can see these neck bones. I always will just put this on my collarbone. So I just kind of pop it out and then just run it along the collarbone. And I just think it makes it look, it just makes you look healthy. Okay. Tapped into this one time and I'm putting a little bit of that over my brow. I also am going to put this highlighter under my brow bone. All right, additionally, I'm going to take a little like pencil brush and I think I'm going to go into this dark shade down here in that Egyptian highlighter, and I'm going to run that all over the lower lash line. I wiped this brush off and I'm going to go into that same highlighter, which is right here, Rodeo Drive. And I'm going to pop that right on the inner corner. Now for the blush. I think I'm going to kind of try to mix these two together, the pink and then that bronzy shimmer type of a shade. Look at all of this fallout. I mean, I don't know if you can see how much is coming off of there, but it's a good bit. All right, so I'm just going to apply this. All right, so when you go into that as a blush, you definitely are going to pick up some of that bronzy type of a shade anyway, unless you have a very tiny blush brush. And so it's going to kind of just look like a pinky bronze, just like this anyway. So, all right, so this is the finished look. I'm going to take my this is just a huge powder brush with nothing on it. And what I like to do is kind of just run this along the perimeters of my face, and I feel like it just blends everything together and just gives it that kind of like airbrushed type of a finish. So that's a good tip. But yeah, this is the makeup look, and basically what this palette was supposed to do is give you a bronzy glow, and I do feel like we got that. I mean, we accomplished that. I am going to go ahead, throw on the rest of my makeup. I'll come back, we'll get the final look, and then we'll go over just kind of final thoughts on this palette. So this is the finished makeup look. Honestly, I mean, I really like the look, to be quite honest with you. Is it worth $149? Right, so for $149, I would say hell no. But if you can find this for a good deal like I did, I definitely think it's worth the money. Specifically, I mean, really for these two highlighters, even alone, these highlighters are so good. And I really do like that blissful shade on the lid. I think it kind of just makes your eyes pop. I do like that cool pop. So anyway, I do feel like we got a very bronzy glow type of a look, and that is what this was made to do. So I do think that it lived up to its claims. It definitely did. But yeah, I think if you are a makeup artist, this is a good one, just because you do have, you know, different levels of deepness kind of in here, even though nothing really goes too terribly deep. But that's my thoughts on it. Definitely not worth $149, but if you can get it for a good deal, there are some good quality products in there. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you in my next one. Bye guys.